Boss of Blades.
Gather around, friends, because I'm going to describe to you how to properly play Cat Got Your Yak. Ah, nice starting hand. Let's go play the wolf. No, don't play the wolf. You're playing against Nissa or like Teferi or something. If you play the wolf, Moorland Han is only going to give you the wolf. Play the alarm bell instead.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Still much to learn, you have.
Okay, so where we're at is we use Champion's Grit on an attack yak. So this is a buffed attack yak, and this is a not buffed attack yak, but it's seen that we played one. So do we play this as a 4-4 and then this as a 7-7, or do we play this as a 5-5 and this as a 6-6? Correct answer is we play this as a 5-5, we play this as a 6-6. The reason why a 5-5 and a 6-6 on turn 4 is really hard for people to answer, whereas a 4-4 is pretty easy to answer, and a 7-7 trades with like a crab or something. We'd honestly rather have the power distributed.
With great power comes great responsibility.
This is called a good turn 6. Our Moorland Han triggered. We have a 7-7 Yak. We have a 9-10 Tarmogoyf. We have a 13-13 Yak. And we have an alarm bell with trigger to be able to pull another creature, though we are likely to either get the wolf or the goyf at this point. One great thing is you can use alarm bell to essentially shuffle your deck so that you do not draw the wolf if you already did draw the wolf, or you do not draw the spell if you played the wolf.
I could do this all day. That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck. Oh my.
So this is one of the main combos that we'd like to emphasize in this deck. So we have a 7-7 attack yak here that gets +10/+10. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it haste and +1/+1. Then, since we have a Kincaller in the field, we're going to Restoration Angel. And we're going to turn our Kincaller to our hand. And then we're going to play the Kincaller and target the hasted yak here. And then next turn, we're going to be getting a bigger yak that also has haste and flying. So you see this is an 11-11 flying haste yak that gets +10/+10. So that'll actually come down as a 21-21, which is, of course, huge. Then we can play a Kincaller. And then we can put another one of that card on top of our deck as well. Then you'll see this attack yak is a 22-22 flying haste that gets +12/+12. This attack yak is now a 34-34 with flying and haste. And if they're not dead after doing that a couple times, then you're doing something wrong.
If I had a list of the things that I don't give a shit about, that would be on the top. But I don't have a list. Do you want to know why I don't have a list? Because I don't give a shit.
There is a few options that you could run with this deck that may or may not be as good, if not potentially better, depending on what kind of decks you see. One of the cards that is droppable is Trostani, because even though Trostani is a very good toolkit for either getting mana, giving you additional blockers, or healing yourself and your board, you could actually have other stuff to deal with different matchups. Smite the Monstrous, I am a big fan of the card, There is a lot of cards that do something similar, but for 3 mana, it is very effective at just destroying big creatures, which otherwise you need to work on Immolating Glare or like a Vindictive Shot maybe going off to be able to deal with big creatures. And the other card that is, of course, droppable here is Circle of the Druid. You're running it mainly because the Wolf is good in certain matchups where you have to race. You're okay getting the mana sometimes. Sadly, the giving a random friendly creature does not trigger Ajani's ability. And of course, Wild-Shaped Brontosaurus is relevant for being able to beat Nahiri and also Strahd OTK. Point of Enter is one of the cards that you could add over the droppable cards. It is very good against Garrett. And if you want to getting at least one creature killed with it, it's very powerful. And because it does have the debut, it is also something that you can get off of Moorland Haunt to good effect. Ovenwood Tracker is a great creature to be able to run in this deck as well. We are actually working on testing a 1-of over the Trostani to see how it performs. It is a 3-mana 3/2, and on debut you choose 2 creatures, one you control and one your opponent controls, and they fight. Generally, your creatures will be larger than your opponent's, so most of the time it will actually be a +1, which is great for a control deck. Heron's Charm is a very interesting card. You can think of it as a Incichron Scepter, but it always gives you a card that heals and adds it to your hand. So sun matchups, you may want like a second sun. Potentially Heron's Charm can give you second sun, or it could give you the Angel that heals, or it could give you Leonin Healer, and it is actually another artifact option to work with your Tarmogoyf. We are working on figuring out whether or not it may be better than running the 1-of Leonin Healer, or running the 1-of Circle of the Druid. So we will see how that works. Second Sun's Dawn is a very powerful card, and 6 mana, heal yourself 7, add a board wipe that deals 10 to only your opponent and their stuff is very strong. A lot of the time, though, I've found that games that go to turn 10 are not usually in my favor, and if I do hit turn 10, I may not actually need the spell, and a lot of the time, games are over turn 6, 7, or 8, or the opponent concedes because they can't break through our board. So I wound up dropping Second Sons from the original build because I never actually needed them, but it could be potentially a add to put in your deck if you're in certain metas where you would want that effect.
Oppers fool me, so I put my mask on. Keep the tool me, gotta keep the night high. Flexing Louis V, yeah, keep my cash on. Sticking true to me, I never had a gas off. I'ma pop off, yeah, I said I'll pop off.